Alright, so this is a video response to Israel about Grand Theft Auto memories, and it's brought to you by Red's Strawberry Ale. Still tastes like wine, but I'm just gonna go with it. Anyway, so I guess to start it off, got this sucker, yeah. But at any rate, I guess I'll get into it. So, you turn that crap off. Oh, okay, nice. Cat hair in the box, need to clean it out. Okay, so this story dates back to, I guess I'll just go kind of like with him and just mention my first Grand Theft Auto memory, which would be probably it would be with the third one. And I remember I was in high school and people were talking about it. I was like, what, a junior at that time, I guess. And yeah, people were talking about oh man, it's such a great game, and all the stuff they're doing, and I remember talking about, you know, doing stunt jumps, and the first thing that really, you know, piques my memory was guys talking about how you could pick up hookers and have your way with them. And then once you're done having your way with them, you can then go and beat them up and take your money back. So I was like, that's interesting. But it was on PlayStation 2 at the time, so I just never checked it out. I never had a reason to. I didn't have a PS2. The Xbox came out, and I started getting in the Xbox. And there was still no Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox. Rockstar at that time was a Sony exclusive developer at the time. But at any rate, so I remember it was after I graduated. It was in 2002, the summer of 2002. My sister had started dating this guy, and we went over to his house to hang out, and his older brother or friend or somebody, some idiot there, he had Grand Theft Auto 3. Now this is the first time I actually got to see it with my own eyes, and he was playing it, and he was doing some of the stunt jumps. He was taking the car and trying to jump from one building to the other, and he kept on going. He was missing the jump, and he's like hitting the wall and all this other stuff. And it really struck out to me because the cars had a very cool damage model. It worked out great. So yeah, I watched out a little bit, and then that fall, me and my cousin, we got an apartment together, and his friend came over and brought his PlayStation 2 over. But well, before we get into that, yeah, I'll go with it. Anyway, his friend came over and brought his PlayStation 2 over, and he had just gotten Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And so I remember playing that a little bit, but not much, because I was mainly into Morrowind at that time, so I really didn't play it all that much. But I remember watching the other guys play it, like my cousin and his friend and his other friend. There was guys coming over all the time playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City there. And I remember it really stuck out as a really good game. And the soundtrack was just phenomenal. And I remember going and picking up the CD for Wave 103. And that was probably my favorite soundtrack on the game. But then, I guess it was in, 2003? Yeah, I think it was 2003. Yeah, then in 2003, this sucker came out. So I was able to finally go and pick up these two bad boys. So I got the GTA 3 and Vice City for the Xbox. And now, I played GTA 3 a little bit. By a little bit, I think I've probably put 4 or 5 hours into the game. Like the actual game itself. I mean, I played it a lot. But I probably put like 4 or 5 hours into the actual game itself. The rest I was just driving around screwing off and being an idiot. But Vice City, I've put a lot of time into this game. Which is kind of surprising because I've never actually beat it before. I played this game a crap lot and I've never beat it before. And I've never beat 3 either. So, neither one of those I beat. I'd like to beat. They're very, very huge, daunting games. And then, oh wow, there's the actual game artwork on the inside. Yeah. But anyway, and then I went and shortly after that, well, I guess it wasn't shortly after that, a few years after that, I remember I had my own apartment at that time, and my friend Chris lived across the street, and he had an apartment. And so I went over there, and he had just picked up Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And, you know, I played it a little bit, but the one thing I really remember about that game is he actually went and he hijacked and stole a train. Yeah, he stole a bullet train. And we were just laughing so much because he's going, and then all of a sudden the train derails and crashes and all this other good stuff. It was just hilarious. But yeah, I remember him playing that, and I was thinking that he went to the airport and got like a helicopter or plane or some other crap and was doing some other stuff. So, yeah, I finally got a chance to get this. So I got the Platinum Hits version. I'd like to trade this in and get the actual version, because I hate having Platinum Hits. I want to have the initial release. I don't like the silver case. I don't like the way they muck up the artwork with all this crap too. But yeah, I really like this game too. I like it a lot because it harkens back to the 90s gangster mentality, and I really like 90s gangster. I like 90s gangster rap. So it really scratches me right where my back itches. And then, remember, since I love Vice City so much, I figured it'd be imperative to just go get this. So I got Vice City Stories. And since Israel asked, I would recommend to pick it up. Basically, it's just like Vice City. I think it takes place a year after Vice City. So I think this takes place in 1987. Didn't Vice City take place in 86? Or it take place in 84? So this takes place in 85. It doesn't matter. It takes place a year after the story of Vice City. And you start off on the opposite side of the map. So you know how on Vice City that one island is open, the other island is closed off. In Vice City Stories, you start off on the closed off island on Vice City, and the other island is closed off, so it's backwards. Which that's kind of cool too. Again, never beat it, but I enjoyed it a lot. It's just a really fantastic game. I mean, my personal favorite is Vice City. So it was just it was just perfect to go get Vice City Stories. It just worked out. And then last but not least, I remember when it first came out, I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I mean, I never beat any of these stupid games, so I don't really see the point in going and getting it. And then I was at GameStop one day and they happened to have a special edition there. So I was like, yeah, whatever, might as well. So I went and picked up Grand Theft Auto 5. So I haven't beaten it. But I do have all the maps unlocked. I do have all the maps unlocked on that. But I think it's a great game. The story is fantastic. And I think the graphics are amazing. The very first thing I remember when I got it was as soon as he was out on the road where you can do stuff. I grabbed the car, I just took off down the street, just driving 90 to nothing, and I hit a barrier, and it just blew me away because Nico actually flew through the windshield and hit the wall behind, and I immediately called my cousin up. I was like, dude, you've got to see this, because it was just so realistic. None of the Grand Theft Auto games were that realistic, so there's that too. Yeah, and I also got my San Andreas poker chip too. But yeah, so there's that. As far as Grand Theft Auto 5, I will not be picking it up on this generation. I'm going to wait until next generation because they're going to release it on next generation. It's not if, it's just when. I'm surmising that they'll probably wait until it comes time for the Game of the Year edition, and they'll put Game of the Year on it. But at any rate, so we got the Grand Theft Auto 1 month of Xbox Live. We got the music of Grand Theft Auto 5, which I really wasn't too impressed by the soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto 5. I thought the soundtrack on San Andreas was good. I thought the soundtrack on Vice City was good. The soundtrack on 3 was pretty crappy. The soundtrack on 5 was left a little to be desired as well. And also my the art of Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really slick production. The special edition comes with a. It all comes in a, what do you call it, duffel bag. All comes complete in a duffel bag. But yeah, I put all my Xbox Grand Theft Auto games in the safety deposit box. And I definitely want to get this in a green box. So if anybody has a green box and they want to trade me, feel free. Feel free to write me up, trade me. But yeah, there you go. So I guess that concludes the video. Just wanted to talk a little bit about my memories with the franchise. Again, I've never beat any of the games because they just get way too out of hand, which is kind of crazy because I have beat Morrowind, I have beat Fallout 3, I have beat Oblivion, I've beat Skyrim, I beat Fable 1 and 2, and those are pretty big games. I beat all those, so I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and adios.